I've never liked hospitals, but when my cousin got into an accident, I didn't have a choice. I visited late in the evening, long after the hallways went quiet and the nurses started speaking in whispers. The whole building felt like it was half asleep, breathing slowly with the rhythm of flickering fluorescent lights. I remember thinking I'd be in and out in 10 minutes. I was wrong. My cousin's room was on the 3rd floor, the recovery ward. When the elevator doors opened, I stepped into a hallway that felt colder than the rest of the building. The lights hummed. Cart sat abandoned in the middle of the hallway. At the far end, a nurse passed by without acknowledging me, just gliding past with her eyes fixed straight ahead. I found my cousin asleep, hooked up to monitors that beeped softly. I pulled a chair beside the bed and sat down. Everything felt normal, peaceful, until I heard a soft tapping sound from across the hall. 3 steady taps, a pause, and 3 more, like someone knocking on a door. At first I ignored it. Hospitals are full of weird noises, but it kept going. Perfectly rhythmic, perfectly deliberate. I peeked into the hallway and saw the door to room 9 slightly cracked open. The tapping was coming from inside. There weren't supposed to be any patients in room 9. A nurse had mentioned earlier it was under maintenance. But as I stood there listening, something scraped across the floor like a chair being dragged. Then a low voice whispered, "Hello?" I froze. It wasn't a cry for help. It wasn't frightened. It sounded hopeful, like whoever was inside knew I was there. Against my better judgment, I stepped toward the door and pushed it open just a little more. The lights inside flickered weakly, revealing an empty bed, untouched machines, and a chair positioned strangely close to the door. The air felt colder inside that room than anywhere else in the hospital. I whispered back, "Is someone in here?" Silence. Then, slowly, the chair began to turn, just a few inches, but enough to prove something was sitting in it. I backed away immediately. When I turned around, a nurse was standing behind me. I jumped so hard I nearly slipped. She looked exhausted, dark circles under her eyes. "What are you doing by that room?" she whispered sharply. "I heard someone," I said. "Someone talking." Her expression drained of color. She grabbed my wrist and pulled me away, lowering her voice even more. "That room is locked for a reason. No one has been assigned to it for years." I asked why. She hesitated, then said, "People report hearing a patient who died waiting for help. He used to knock when he needed a nurse. Some say he still does." I turned back toward the room. The door was now fully closed. I didn't stay much longer after that. As I was leaving, the elevator doors began to shut, and deeper down the hallway, faint but unmistakable, I heard it again. 3 taps. A pause. 3 more,